Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. I have a free file for you today with a work along. But if you're new here, I go fairly quickly when I have these done for you files. So in order to slow this video down, you can go to your YouTube cogs or the settings and go to playback speed. Anything above the word normal will slow it down. You can get this free file on my shop site or you can get it on the Atom platform. Today I'm going to be using the Xtool S1 40-watt diode laser for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the canvas so that I have the original. Now I'm going to be talking through Kerf today, so if that's freaked you out, don't worry. If you are new, this is how you're going to set up your file with the base and the two squares on the horizontal plane, because X and X versus Y and Y can measure differently. Now I'm going to go into the Objects and Layers panel because we're only going to cut the first square and the base. This is what is going to allow us to do our kerf calculation, okay? So everything needs to be turned off, and then we will determine the bunny kerf after we cut these three things on the left, okay? So I'm just gonna highlight both this cut square, which has two pieces under it, the score and the cut, and then the base, which has 7. I'm gonna turn those to output on. And now, before I set my settings, which you can do by highlighting the colors, you're first going to set up your file. So I'm processing on the base plate using basswood plywood, and now I'm going to auto measure. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be using the S1, which means I put my crosshair over the material, hit the auto measure, and it automatically extends the pin and will put in my measurement for me. You are going to use whatever your laser calculates for a measurement and that distance section. Now I'm going to set my settings for all cut pieces. These are my settings, and yes, kerf can change based on settings. So we're going to put all our settings in for everything, cut and score. If you're new to the Xtool ecosystem, they have some guidelines for you. All right, so now what we have is over here on the overview, it says we're going to score something and cut two somethings, right? We have our measurement in for distance, so now let's tell the system where to cut these things. All right, so there is a camera option with a mobile device, but I'm going to use the Pinpoint marking system, choose rectangle, and now I'm going to go to my machine. I'm going to put those crosshairs in the upper leftmost portion of my material and hit the button on the front to lock in the first vertex. Then I'm going to slowly move my gantry so that the crosshairs become in the bottom far right. I sped that up, but I hit the button and it produces this square. I'm going to hit end marking and done to lock that in, and then I'm just going to drag in right here on the screen everything I want to process. Now you can set this up however you would like to, but again, if you are new, put the base on the horizontal plane. All right, now before we hit process, there's options. You can first hit preview, and if you are new, I highly recommend doing this because if your settings are off, it'll actually give you a warning up in the top corner. You can also hit framing, which is a 0 power light that shows where it will process. I'm going to go ahead and hit process. This is not sped up. That's exactly how quickly this is moving. It will score and cut that square and then cut the base. Now, once that has been cut, we slowly move our gantry out of the way, and this little piece is what we want. We take our calipers and we will measure that single piece because right now it's too big and we need to find out how much. So mine is showing 25.14, I think. So what I'm going to do is take out the base and that piece, hit finish, and turn those off. We don't need those ever to cut again. Now, I'm going to determine my kerf by taking my original size square minus what I actually measured and then dividing that by 2. That is going to give me my kerf offset. So we can actually put that in for just the bunnies, and you would do that by just highlighting each of these objects inside of the bunnies. See the 2 red? You can highlight those there, hold down shift, and then over in the processing area, you're going to turn on the kerf tab and put a point whatever your kerf offset is. Remember, that's a positive number if it slides right through. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I need to turn on the kerf square and I need to set the kerf square to that number. Okay, then I can just process that Kerf square. Now, after it processes, you're going to take your base and you're going to put that square right inside. But I'm going to show you this measures. Hold on. 25.4. It moves back from 4 to 4.1. But that right there, all that matters is see how difficult that is to push in? That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. If you don't get it right the first time, guess what? You can adjust it and cut that Kerf square again. I'm going to turn off the little closed eyes because I want the open eyes. I'm going to turn off the Kerf square, and now I'm going to process both the score and cut for the bunnies. So if you're new to this, don't worry. It'll do one and then it'll immediately do the other. And you will just have two finished bunny sides. Don't put them in right away. Always wipe them down. I burned a little hot, so I have some soot. Now you can see it's hard to get this in. I'm going to go ahead and push this against my chest because I don't have a table over here. And there you can see. Now it's in. It's down. Look at that. You just made that. And then you do the same thing with the other side. Hey, if you have a dirty honeycomb like me, you can sand the back, but do not sand the sides because that will adjust the fit. And guess what? You're all done. You have done a Kerf project. It was easy and it's adorable for Easter. Oh, and it was free. Be sure to go out and grab that free file, whether it's from my website or from Adam. And always be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.